What's up, friends, and welcome to this week's episode of Tutorial Tuesday. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you can see more of my Tutorial Tuesday video. This week we'll be going over gluing all of this together. Alright, so let's cut to that intro first and let's get to gluing. Two, one, we go. Alright, so here we are, and today we'll be going over how to glue all of these pieces together. Now I've got everything nice and laid out here. So yeah, we're going to be going through the gluing process. So I've got the bottom layer of foam that I cut out, and then we've got our top layer and these little detail things. And then I also cut out a extra piece for the crossguard and these little rings that are going to be going on for part of the detail. And then eventually we are going to be adding in these nice little red gems. You can get these from the dollar store for like a whole bunch of them. We'll eventually be putting those on. And so yeah, I've got two of everything. So we're going to be using barge contact cement. Now this stuff is pretty heavy duty, so you want to make sure that you're going to be in a well ventilated area, as it kind of has a bit of a strong smell to it. Now part of the reason that I'm wearing gloves and a long sleeve shirt when making this is that I'm actually allergic to contact cement. So if it touches my skin, it breaks out in hives and is, trust me, very unpleasant. So yeah, we're going to be gluing onto the foam, onto the balsa wood, or bottom layer of it. Goes on nice and easy there. Now we're going to take our barge contact cement, comes in with this nice little brush. And then we're going to make sure that we cover all of the area of foam with the glue. Make sure that you get right up to the edges with it. Now foam can be rather absorbent, so we'll probably need to do that twice just to make sure. The balsa wood we only really need to put it once, but again we want to make sure we get all the way to the edges of the balsa wood and only where we want to put the foam on. Alright, so yeah, there we go. We're nice and covered. Now we do need to wait for a little bit, as contact cement, it needs to dry a little bit before we glue it together. Alright, so yeah, it's been about 15 minutes or so since we put the contact cement on. You can tell when it's dry, when it's a little tacky, so if you give it a little dab there, you can see. Now, I want to start at the bottom and slowly push it down. So you want to work your way up, putting pressure along for each part of it there, and then as you see, it just kind of goes on nice and smooth. You want to give it a nice little, like work the edges where any little bubbles may pop up. Now we're going to glue the top layer of foam onto the bottom layer here, so again we'll need to cover both areas with it, with the glue. And again, it's a thing that we want to make sure we get all the edges everywhere on it, and we're probably going to want to put more than one layer of foam on, as to make sure that it, because foam absorbs the glue really well. Alright, yeah, then again, we're probably going to want to wait about anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that it is dry or tacky enough to put on. But again, we're going to want to start at the bottom. Now, sometimes, as you can see here, the parts that you don't want to glue kind of come down, so you got to quickly make sure that you pull them off. And again, you want to use your fingers to slowly work up the edges there. Making sure that we put pressure down all the way there, right to the tip, and then again give it a nice little Make sure it all goes nice. So now the next step is we're going to put the little detail edges on. So we're only going to put the glue onto the detail areas. If you get a little bit over those edges, that's fine. We will end up cleaning this up anyways when it's all put together. And make sure that we get our glue onto both pieces that we're gluing, so the blade and the detail pieces as well. And make sure that we get both of them. Alright, and then yeah, starting at the bottom, we will work our way up. Now the smaller pieces obviously go on a lot quicker, but again, same principle, we want to make sure that they are, that they glue to the areas that we want and everything is nice and all the edges, everything connects, and there we go. So there's the first part. And then we'll make sure that we get to the, we can give it a nice flip so that we got the other edges, or the other side of it as well. As you can see, we got both edges. It looks a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. We'll be putting the PVC pipe on next. So we're going to want to glue within that little notch there, and then the pipe as well. Alright, now this part, when attaching it, we sometimes can make sure that the PVC pipe is can be a little flimsy once it's all connected, but that's okay. We'll be installing the cross guard to kind of help reinforce that. Now see, this is what I was talking about here. The PVC piping can be a little flimsy. We want to make sure that it is even all the way across. And then now we're going to be putting on the cross guard. But the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to Dremel a little part of the cross guard where the PVC pipe goes. So we'll take the Dremel there. You probably want to use the pipe to make sure that you get the right area. And then just kind of go back and forth with the Dremel. And then that will make sure that it is a little flat and that it connects a little bit easier to the PVC piping. As the bottom, the rigid part of the EVA foam doesn't always connect super well to other things. Like 2 pieces of foam connect easy enough, but you gotta smooth out the back part so that that glues well to other parts, like to the PVC piping and the balsa wood. Then we want to do this with both pieces of foam, as you know, got both sides, and we want to go top to bottom, make sure that it all. Now it doesn't need to look pretty or smooth, it just needs to, we just need to get rid of the ridges that are on the back part there and kind of make a bit of an indent for the cross guard, or for the PVC piping. When dremeling, you want to make sure that you're also wearing gloves and safety glasses, as there are little bits of foam going absolutely everywhere, as you can see. Alright, once we got both edges done up, we will start applying the glue to them. Alright, so now we're ready to glue the PVC piping, or the cross guard, to the whole thing. So we're first going to apply the contact cement over the PVC piping and balsa wood. And then we're going to cover the glue onto the cross guard as well, both pieces, because again, it takes time for it all dry, so make sure that we get a nice even spread with the glue. And yeah, onto the PVC, or the EVA foam. Yeah, make sure that we get it absolutely everywhere. This stuff absorbs real quick, the glue, so you want to make sure that you get multiple layers down with the glue. And then we're going to want to get both pieces of EVA foam glued together. Just makes it easy that way so that you can just kind of go ahead and glue away or piece it all together. We're making sure that we get the glue spread evenly all the way across onto every bit of the foam. Alright, so now we're ready to glue the crossguard onto the rest of it. So yeah, we want to make sure you get your placing correct of this part, as it can be a little stiff, difficult to get it to fit correctly. And your PVC piping is going to move around a little bit, even though it's kind of glued in place. It's just the crossguard acts as a helps reinforce the PVC piping so that it stays in place. And then we're going to want to make sure that we apply pressure to both parts of it, as this can be a bit of a, it doesn't glue together all perfect. If we do get a bit of a gap formed, that's okay. We will be filling those gaps in the next part of our Tutorial Tuesday videos. Then we want to make sure that we get our glue to the other side of the crossguard, so that, or the blade, so that we can put the other part of the crossguard on. And again, this is where you really want to apply the pressure for both ends of it so that it fits nice together. Now, like I said, if we get any gaps that form, that's okay. We'll be filling those in. And then that's okay that it's also a little flat at this point as well too, as those parts we want to, we'll be heating using a heat gun. And like I said, the next step will be making sure that everything is all, that we'll do the extra detailing, cleaning things up. I know it looks like a bit of a mess right now with all the extra glue, but don't worry, we'll be sanding those parts down. And so yeah, we've got everything nice and put together. It's all glued together. Like I said, it looks like a mess, but in the next part we will be going over how to clean up your blades and doing all the added detailing work to the blade. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button. You can see the next part of Tutorial Tuesdays, where we continue making this blade. And I hope you guys all have a great day, and peace out. We'll talk to you soon.